Hey, you guys, I hope I'm here. Oh, and I have feedback. That's wonderful. Um, let me, it's muted. Okay. So I hope I'm here, you guys. If you guys could like say, hey, how you doing? Let me know where you guys are watching from so that I know that I'm in the right place. That would be so fabulous. It has been a long day. You guys have no idea. um, how much it has taken me to make it here today. Oh my gosh. Hi, Laura. I am so glad to see you. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Lori. Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I have been trying to go live since noon. And so you guys will notice that things are looking a little different. My Switcher Studio wouldn't behave today. My Wi Fi was out in my studio. I had to call and have a tech take care of that. It's been craziness. But I am not here to complain today. How is the sound for you guys? Can you guys let me know how the sound is? Oh, hi, Lori. That means YouTube can see me too. Very good. And I'm hoping there's no feedback. I'm getting a little bit of feedback on this side, but hopefully you guys are not getting any of that. So if you guys can just let me know if the sound is good. Hey, Doris, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, Elizabeth. Okay, so it's good. It was all worth it. You guys, I have had more woosah moments today, just than I've had in a long time. But it's good exercise, right? Hey, Lady J, what's happening? Hey, Kathleen. So I'm sure you guys have seen like some of the stuff from IOD, right? They are having their big release today. Let me try. I'm gonna try something. Um, I was kind of hoping I could reverse that. No, I want you guys to see the stuff, not me. Okay, I guess you guys are stuck with the both of us. So, I just wanted to go over the stuff that we got from IOD today, you guys. And so, if you guys are with me for the last release, you know how it goes, right? I'm gonna open everything. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna play with it. And if you guys have any questions, hey Don, hey Patty, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. And I've also brought my tape measure because I know a lot of times it's hard to gauge like how big things are when you're looking at them just online. Hey, Renee, thank you so much. I know. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a mess. I felt like SpongeBob 6 hours later. I made it. Yes, Renee, I made it. So things will look a little different, but I think we're okay. I have my overhead camera stretched out as far as it'll go. So, but I think you guys should be able to see. So, since I have molds out already, let's start with the molds. And we'll look at them. And I've already casted some with resin because, I was here on hold waiting for them to get back to me. So I might as well be something productive, right? Um, oh, Eddie, you can come back. It'll be a replay here. I am actually feeling better. Although I will warn you guys, I'm probably going to be talking more today than I've talked in the last few days. Maybe yesterday I was on the phone a lot. So if I start coughing or something, just please y'all pray for me. And I know my voice still sounds a little froggy, but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. But you guys know how it is when you have a bug. It's just the last like residuals of it that won't leave me alone. And for those of you who hang out with us on Sunday nights, I want y'all to give David a hard time, okay? Because he brought this bug home to me. And if he brings up the fact that I caught COVID first before everybody in the house gets sick, you just tell him we're not talking about old stuff. We're not bringing up old stuff. Hey Beverly, how are you? So let's go over the stuff. I've talked a lot. So our first mold is the dewdrop pond. You guys, this is so cute. I'm actually pretty excited. There's two frogs on here. I know I have my folks out there who collect frogs. And exactly, Gabrielle, bad David. And even this little ladybug right here and this fern, like the details on these molds, you guys can see that, right? Is so beautiful. I am going to love. I would if IOD could like grant wishes, I would like a whole mold of just ferns. That would be fabulous. And so there's two snails, two different sizes, and there's a turtle, and we even have a little lizard. And the hummingbird is so pretty, you guys. Look. Um, and in a few minutes, we'll go through and paint these together and see if we can bring out some of the details so you guys can see them a little better. So this is the mold. If you guys have questions about sizes of any of these individual ones, let me know because I do have my tape measure so I can ask you. Right, Gabrielle? It's beautiful. There are so much details. And then the second mold, which I'm super excited about because I had actually just ordered like a fondant mold from Amazon with mushrooms, but it was super tiny. So I was ecstatic when I saw this mold. And look at these are huge, you guys. This is my hand. We're gonna pour these big ones together. I've poured a couple of smaller ones, and we'll take a look at these. But again, there's like really a lot of texture inside of the mold that translates to the actual mushrooms. So they're not just, let me see if I can, we're going to paint these. We'll bring out some of those details. This is light, so it's hard to show it, but it's not just like a flat mushroom. There's like tons of texture on here. It's super beautiful. And so we'll paint these out together in just a bit. I'm going to go through everything first, and then we'll circle back and we'll kind of play a little bit. And I don't know why, but this mushroom set is my favorite. This one right here, the little cluster. Um, but I did pour quite a few of the mushrooms, and this one is has tons of texture in it. And then you even have this little tiny one. So lots of mushrooms. Even this cute little ladybug. This is from the other one. It's not from the mushroom one, but he's still super cute. And he has ladybug dots on there too. So if you guys have questions about any of the sizes or anything, let me know and I'll measure it for you. We're going to go through really fast and then we'll circle back. This one I haven't even opened yet and I didn't get to pour yet. So we'll do this one together. But this one is called Hidden Hollow. So kind of like fairy doors. I think this one is going to be so much fun. Look at these. And so I wish I had poured one of these. We'll pour it together. So this one has like like leaves that are creeping up the detail. And then there's bricks that go all the way around like that. This one has like a living tree around the door, and you can actually see the wood grain in there and the wood grain on the door. And this one has like little flowers that are creeping around there. And there's even detail up here as if there's like stone, like stacked stone that made up this doorway. Super cute. And so this one is Hidden Hollow. And you guys all know that all of the new ones have the mil measurements on there. So you know like how much resin that you need in order to be able to pour these. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all know I'm not like mixing up exact amounts. Let's just be honest. Y'all know I'm not doing that. But it does give me a pretty good indicator, right, of how much I'm going to need. So even if I pour my regular 40 mil that I do, I'll have an idea like of how far I'm going to get with that much. So where are the mounds from? These molds are from Iron Orchid Design. And you guys, these are on my e-commerce site at roycycled.equid.com. I should have put that in the comments. And they are available and they're live today. So these are IOD's. So what we're doing today is we're reviewing IOD's new spring release. And so today, IOD made the announcement. I've had these for about a week, but I can't say nothing. I can't say anything. And so today, hey, Michelle. Hey, Marty. And so these are from Iron Orchid Design. And you guys know in the molds, you guys know I love resin. But you can use air dry clay. You can use, what's that other clay? The stuff that's like gets hard, or it stays open unless you bake it. You guys can use that kind of clay. You can use hot glue. Some people prefer to use hot glue in their molds. And so you can use whatever you prefer. I just happen to like the resin, and I've been using this resin just because for a while it was all that I could get from Illuminite. And I love that it's not like bright white. It's like a creamy color, right? I'm just really digging the color of this resin. It kind of makes it easier to paint than it is to paint the bright white. And look at this froggy. Isn't he just the cutest? Scopy, yes, to make jewelry. Thank you. Y'all help me out. Yes, and you can even, so like if you're a baker, you guys can, so if you're going to use, these are food grade. So you can use them with food, but once you use them with food, you don't want to bring them back out to your craft, space and pour resin on them and take them back in the kitchen. So if you're going to use them for food, you really want to dedicate it only for food. But you can use like chocolate in these. You can use pie crust. How fun would it be with the little ones to use these to make sugar cookies? Like you could even cheat and buy the sugar cookie roll that's already done, and you can make some sugar cookies with your little ones. I'm going to show you guys the next one just because y'all know this one is my favorite, right? Did I open this one already? I don't think. Oh, I did. I opened it. So I started playing last night. I'm going to show you guys what I kind of did in my art journal. But this one is called Antiquities. And it has you guys can see there's a deer and a dog, and they're dressed up in tuxedos. I am super happy about these postal stamps because you guys know how much I love typography, and I'll be able to integrate these into my projects. And so I'm going to open this though so you guys can kind of see the scale of it, right? Sometimes when you're looking online, it's hard to get an idea of like how big everything is. And so we're going to look at this one. These are super fun for smaller crafts because of their size and their scale. So let me see. This little deer here is like 3 inches tall. The doggy is just a little shy of 3 inches. So just to give you guys kind of an idea, right, of the scale of these stamps. And then we're going to go back around and we're going to stamp some stuff. I'm just showing you guys for now. I should get some white paper. Let me see so you guys can see better. Y'all know I got some cardboard ready for us to play underneath here, right? Okay, that's better. So you guys can see all the yumminess, and there's so much detail. And so these are kind of quirky. Like I see a lot of kind of a steampunk-ish influence. So you guys know I'm loving this one. Lots of typography. I am loving this guy right here. He's my favorite. And of course, these. And they're different sizes, which is super fun because you have options when you're creating. So this one is called Antiquities, and it's a stamp. Um, and if you guys have never used the stamps before, these are super fun. You can put them on an acrylic block, but I don't. Y'all know I'm a hot mess. I just cut them off the sheet and use them just like that. And then when you're done with them, you can use them with paint. I prefer to use my stamps with ink. I feel like I get a much cleaner impression. And when you're done with them, you can just clean them in your sink with just soap and water. I just use my Dawn dishwashing liquid. And if I'm like working, if I'm batching videos or something and I'm going to be using a lot of stamps and I know I'm not going to make it to the sink for a while, then I'll just use my little alcohol wipes and wipe them clean as I go and then wash them when I'm all done. So that's the Antiquity stamp. You guys are quiet. No questions. You guys probably seen all these already, huh? So I'll get to the good part. We'll go through super quick and then we'll circle back and play. I think that this one is going to be super popular. This one is called La Campagne. Oh, Campagna. Oh, Lord. Y'all know how I am with words. I don't know. You guys can tell me. Campaign? Campaign. It's probably something French, I'm sure. But this one has roosters and roses, and there's a cute little sheep on here, and there's some little strawberries. This one is so nice. Good. So Helen wants to know the size of the large frog. I will tell you, Helen. The large frog on the mold is he's like 4 inches wide. And then from his head till his toes is like 2.25 inch tall. So he's sizable. He's 4 inches. So he's a pretty good size. And I already opened this one, so let me find it because I was playing last night. Y'all should see my mess down here. That goes to the other one. Look, I'm trying to separate them because I don't want to get you guys mixed up on what comes with what. I used the birds and the bees a lot last night. And so these are the, so I'm gonna show you the pieces from this one right now, but I'm missing my roses. So let me find those really quickly. I really do love these roses. I think I'm gonna use them a lot. And so we'll do one page at a time. So I think this came, oh, yep, it came off of that page. Okay. So on one page, you guys have this beautiful rose right here. There's a cow, super cute. And this chicken right here has major attitude. Look at his face. I mean, this rooster, not chicken. This rooster got Adam for real. It means countryside. Oh, okay. Oh, I know. T is saying that she can't wait to use the fairy paper and the fairy gate with the toadstools in the hidden hollow. Ooh, that is such a good idea. And so there's like strawberries on here, and there's roses, the rooster, and this is just one page. So when you guys go to whoever your retailer is to buy these, the price of this one is going to be more, but it's because it's a double stamp. So there's actually 2 sheets of stamps with this one, and the other ones only have 1 sheet. And so this is the second sheet, and it comes with this big cluster of roses. There's a little sheep. He's so sweet. We have a smaller rooster, this is like a little bushel with some flowers coming out of it, a smaller cow. And so this is a pretty versatile stamp because you can definitely use these larger pieces on larger home decor or furniture, but you also have smaller options to use with your crafts. And so I'm just making sure. Oh, I nailed it. Thank you. This girl. I'm still having discussions about those peonies. I don't know. I don't know if I ever got that one right. And then the next one is birds and bees. Super fun. It's a single stamp, but you have tons of birds. And you guys, when we stamp together, you guys are going to die over the amount of detail that are in these. And you guys can tell I started playing already because I already got birds that are missing. I think I'm missing a bee too. There's a tiny bee somewhere. So this is the birds and the bees. And look at this giant bee. Like he's like 3.5 inches tall. And like this bird right here is almost 7 inches. So like you have a lot of fun and diversity in scale. You have the larger ones and you have the smaller ones, and then there's even more bees. There's tinier bees, and there's another one that's super tiny that I may have lost already. And then you have this bird that's kind of swooping in and flying. This one is sitting on a branch. These are super cute. This one's even sitting on a nest. And when we stamp these together, you guys are going to die when you see the amount of detail. Ooh, Helen, I know there are people who collect frogs. My VA that I used to have, she loved frogs. And I never thought about loving frogs before, but I guess, there's other people who love toadstools. I guess they can love frogs too. Let's see. I would like to stamp on watercolor paper and paint. Do you think that will work? So, Deborah, you can. If you stamp on watercolor paper, make sure that you use a color fast ink, which means an ink that's going to set. because you don't want your ink to like wiggle around when you paint. And you may even want to cheat, Deborah, and you can use like a an embossing ink and heat it up, and it'll create like little mini barriers for you so that your paint stays in the, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. It's a really cool effect because it creates a resist wherever the lines are so that the paint only goes in the areas between the line. Hey, Linda. Let me take a drink, y'all, before I start hacking. Oh, y'all pray for me. My voice is getting tired already. I'm sorry. Girl, but I've only been here for a few minutes, Verla. You're not late. I'm having issues over here today. This is the new paint inlay, which I am so excited about this specific inlay. And a lot of you have been asking for these kind of elements, things that you can use in your kitchen. I'm sorry, I have to get used to this new angle of this camera, you guys. There's a rooster on here, and I'm going to show you guys the actual pages. So these are all the pages. Each of the pages are 12 by 16. So just to give you an idea of scale, so they're a foot wide and like almost a foot and a half. I mean, they're a foot tall, a foot wide and a foot and a half tall. Let me turn them over so we can see the good side. So these are the inlays, and I think so many of these would be beautiful in kitchen art, right? And it's line art, but it's like super detailed. I personally love etchings, and these are like the vintage etchings that you would see, right? Um, the sunflower makes your heart happy, right? Shannon says she loves using the stamps on watercolor paper. Yeah. And you watercolor pencils are super fun because then you can just like line them and then run some water over with a brush. And can you turn them around? Sure. So this is the one, right? And we have artichokes here, some strawberries. I'm sure these are some kind of herbs. I don't know what they are, but they're beautiful. I love these little snipping scissors. I'll be using those. And honestly, I'm like waiting to use something in my cloche. Beautiful roses. Again, more bees. There's one, two, three. It's 5 bees just on this one page. And to give you guys an idea of scale, so this is 16 inches tall. And let's measure this guy. This bee right here is like 3 inches. So these are a pretty good size. I know that a lot of people are kind of hesitant to use the inlays, and they do have a bit of a learning curve, but because it's paint that you're inlaying in your project, just think that you could use these things in spaces where you couldn't necessarily use a transfer. So, like, I'm thinking after all of these have come out, that I'm probably going to sprinkle some like French country industrial on my porch for spring. And so I'm probably going to be making some stuff for the porch. I'm kind of excited about that. But this one, you guys know I love this because I love typography. So I have to show you guys up close, like all the incredible detail that's in this inlay. And then, of course, the sunflower. Like you can see the sunflower seeds. Super, super detailed. I apologize ahead of time if I have to put a cough lozenge in because I might have to do it. And then you guys will hear me smacking the whole time. This is my favorite page on this transfer, I think. Um, and you know, you could leave those words in there, or you can just cut those words out and you can put something else in there and just use this as a beautiful frame. I don't know if you guys saw Lexi did a table and she just put this on the top and it was just the right amount of detail. Beautiful, beautiful. And so and again, the paint inlays do have a bit of a learning curve. If you have an IOD rep that you deal with on a regular basis, I'm sure they would be willing to help you if you've had difficulty with the inlays. We have more typography on this page, another small frame, um, just beautiful. And when I look at all of these things together, I just see French country design, right? I know, Gabrielle. I thought about that. I did. I have an urn that I started in my art journal. So we'll see what happens in a little bit. I don't know, Shannon. Once it's gone, it's gone. This rooster is so like, this is like a proud, cocky rooster right here. The other one was ornery. This one is proud and cocky. And then, of course, you have these beautiful roses framing it out. Um, and these I like because I think that I could still use this inlay on a piece of furniture, but I have the flexibility to be able to use it on smaller home decor items as well. And so just more florals. And this is actually, oh, criminies, what do you guys call that fruit that has the little red seeds in there? Helen is asking, do you prime your resin molds before painting them? Sometimes, Helen, it depends. Um, you do get quicker coverage if you prime them first, I will say, because then you can add that little tooth to it. Pomegranates. Thank you, girl. Y'all know how I am. Yeah, two little pomegranates right here. And yes, I think these will be fabulous inside of the clothes. Oh, wow, there's another page. And so look at them. You guys, I remember my grandmother had a big old wooden fork and knife in her kitchen when I was little. I don't know. I saw these and I thought about that. But you could make really beautiful artwork for your kitchen, though, using this inlays, right? And so this is the one inlay. There's 8 sheets in this one. I'm sorry. I don't know what's worse, the coughing or the sniffling. And this one is called melange, I believe is how you say this one. The melange transfer. I mean, not transfer. This one is a paint inlay. Oh, and there's that one. I'm going to save my favorite transfer for last. Did I forget to get the monkey one? Oh, man, you guys, I'm fired. I forgot one. Oh, man. And nobody's home for me to bug to bring it to me. I may run in the house. We'll see. I might. Oh, man. There's one with monkeys on it. I'm not going to lie, y'all. It's not my favorite one. I probably didn't remember it subconsciously, but I wanted to show it to you guys. I did not forget it on purpose. I remember when I decorated, I used to be the executive director of a nonprofit that serves seniors, and we have a senior center. And the one transfer that has like the cheetahs and the monkeys on it, I use a fabric similar to that. And they took my curtains down. Yeah, they did not like my monkey curtains and my monkey pillows. When I went to bed last night, I convinced myself that I would watch the release, but not buy anything. You totally lied. You could just watch, Felicia. Hi, Patty. Thank you. Yes, I am feeling better, but you guys hear my voice. I still sound a little froggy. And it's just like the lingering, mess that happens. If you guys have ever seen Monsters Inc., and you guys know the snail that works at the desk, like that's how I sound in my head. I think her name was Marge on there. This is my favorite transfer, you guys. I love this so much. Like when I saw this, it gave me life. You have 8 pages, and I know they're super small here. We're going to look at them. But you have 8 pages of super yumminess. There's mushrooms and flowers and fruit and bugs and sea life and butterflies and eggs. And then these are all kind of like, cabbages and vegetables, I guess. And so I'm excited for these, and I'm hoping that we can play with these today. These mushrooms are divine. You guys, there are so many mushrooms on this page, and the scale varies. So, like this tall one right here is like 6 inches tall, right? This largest one. And then the red one here is like 3 inches. But then you have these like little tiny ones down here that are only like, they're like less than 2 inches tall. And so you have all these varying heights and scales. And so I just like, to me, I would be able to make so many projects just using this one page, and there's 8 pages. Yes, Roz. That's who I sound like in my head. I sound like Roz Kim. Um, and so this one is super pretty. I'm going to try to show you guys up close. This camera is killing me. I miss my Switcher Studio. But you guys can see all the different flowers that are in here. And like, seriously, you're probably going to need your fussy cutting scissors to be able to cut all these, you know, cut them out and use them the way you want. But how fun would these be with like the little mini frames from IOD? You could make your little mini art, your own mini art. This cluster right here is so pretty. And this cluster is like 5 inches across, right? And you have some larger blooms, like these roses are just under 2 inches. But then you have some that are like tiny, tiny, tiny. These are not even an inch. And so there's a lot of like variation in size and scale. And there's a lot of different kinds of flowers. Look, there's even a cactus right there. And so I don't know, I could just see a ton of projects just using this sheet. And we still have 6 more sheets to go through. This one is fruit. There are pears and strawberries. There's even a nut right there. Plums, cherries, just different kinds of fruit on here. There's some grapes here on the bottom. This largest of the pears here from the stem to the bottom is a little over 3 inches. The actual pear itself is 3 inches, right? So then you have all these varying sizes. So if you wanted to do some kind of clustered art, you would have a lot of options. Same with the grapes. They come in different sizes. And then you even have like tiny, tiny strawberries up here. Oh, what happened? Oh my gosh. Okay, I apologize, you guys. I thought I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm going to kill George. Did you guys know if somebody's phone is on Do Not Disturb, you can push through anyways? I think that's bogus. Yeah, so Shannon is saying that she's not a huge transfer person because it's too hard to decide what to use them on. But this transfer has so much, you can go wild, see them on everything. You guys remember I had a dresser in my room when I was like in 5th and 6th grade, and I had like tons of stickers all over that dresser. And not like, it wasn't cute. It was just, you know, stickers. But yes, there are so many different options. And these are bugs, which I know some of you guys might not like, but I am like so excited about this transfer because I can see this being inside of my cloche as if they're like specimens. Like I already have it envisioned in my head and I can't wait to do it. This beetle right here, let's measure him. From the top of his claws to the bottom of his feet, he's a little over 4 inches. And then you have like a tiny beetle here that's only like 1.5 inches. And so again, you have like all these different options for sizes, for scale, and there's just a ton of them. Like to me, this particular transfer has so much value because to Shannon's point, you can stick them on everything. Mindy says, maybe that's why I'm afraid to do furniture. Are you having flashbacks from the 6th grade, Mindy, when you were putting stickers on your furniture? You know what, Mindy? I was a very expressive child. I think by the time I got to 5th grade, my mom had just given up. Like, oh, oh yeah, Kim, the bugs would work. Just imagine if you did like maybe some gold frames and then you put the bugs inside of them over black. That would be so fabulous for Halloween. And so these are just like root vegetables and cabbages. Again, beautiful artwork that you could make for your kitchen. Would be super fun. I'm going to figure out how to use these inside of the Roycycled cloche stencil is my plan. We shall see what happens. And I look at these speckled eggs, you guys. It's just absolutely, I'm probably getting too close. Absolutely yummy. So yummy. This huge egg right here is almost 5 inches tall, you guys. And then the smallest one is like less than an inch, and there's everything in between. So, like, Easter is right around the corner. Imagine how many designs you could do for Easter with just this one sheet. It's just fabulous. I just love this so much. And the colors are so rich. You guys can see teal. You guys know teal is my favorite color. So I'm all about these teal colored eggs. And they're all speckled beautifully. I know I'm spending too much time on this one. Okay, we'll go faster. This is the butterfly page. I know you guys are dying for this page. Look at this. These are all butterflies and moths. There's some moths on there too. This big one here, the wingspan from side to side is 6 inches. This one is like 5.5 inches. And then of course you have this one is as small as like an inch and a half. And there's everything in between. So just a ton of butterflies. And again, this is just one sheet. There's like 8 sheets of stuff. This one has sea life on there. There's sharks and pufferfish and stingrays. And what are those big old fish that you guys catch in the Midwest? I'm sure it's on here too. A sturgeon. Yeah, see, there it is right there. There's even a big old sturgeon on here. And so that is the, what is the name of this one? It's Millet's Pages. And I believe Millet, I'm not sure how to say the name, is the artist who did all these way back in the day. And so all these pages, like this is jam packed, you guys. There is so much that you could do with this stencil, which is why not stencil, mira, transfer, which is why it's my favorite. But let's get to some fun stuff. What should we play with first? I have no plans, you guys. So whatever you guys want to see, let me know and we'll play with that first. For my mushrooms, I just see these being a beautiful brass color on a super dark green surface. I have a very specific vision for that one. But I'll wait for you guys to tell me because I have my cardboard already. Stamps. Okay, let's start off with stamps. That's the first one I saw. So let's start with, I think a lot of you probably like this one with the rooster. So we'll start with this one first. When you guys first get your stamps, and for those of you who've been with me for a while, I know you guys are tired of hearing this, but there's always somebody new on. When you first open your stamps, one of the things that you can do to really improve the performance of your stamps is that you can season it first. So this is just, it's probably like a 320 grit at this point, my old sanding pad. And I'm just going to go across one way and then across the other way. Real quick, you don't want to like score your stamps. You just want to condition them. And what it does is help that stamp to hold on to the ink better so that you get a nice, cleaner impression. And I think I'm going to just do like random ones and we're going to see what they look like. I'm glad you guys are here playing with me. I don't get to play very much. Not as much as I used to. I'm going to have to start scheduling a play date for myself. Oh, I didn't realize this cow actually has a little barn in the background. Oh, I don't think I saw these little chickadees. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm such a dork. Look, there's like little bitty chickies right here. They're so cute. We have to do that one first. Hey, George, I'm live. Hi. I know. I wonder who made it. George is here to harass me, you guys. I'm sorry. I was wanting you to do a mail run today. I should have texted you. I apologize. I was having so much trouble. I've been trying to go live for like 3 hours and I was on the phone with the tech. And so I didn't get to do a lot in the mail room. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Road, so I stop by.
Okay. But I'll definitely have stuff, although Kayla will be here tomorrow, so I probably won't bug you tomorrow. Unless you want to come over, you can.
Yeah, I don't mind being bugged.
Okay. I apologize. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was so disheveled trying to get on to be live tonight. I mean, today, that I just lost track.
Yeah. I was a little late after a little while.
Okay.
I was doing a yard.
Sorry, you guys. Sidebar. So I'm using Iron Orchid Design ink. You guys can use whatever ink you have in your craft stash, right? Carmen from Carmen's Curiosities taught me years ago to use my brayer with my ink pad. And that is what I always do because I always have success that way. I loaded this last night, so I'm trying to make sure I'm picking up enough ink. And I feel like when I do it this way, I get just a right amount of ink on my stamp. And I have a lot of success. And so I feel like my brayer is not loading, but it probably is. Okay. So let's do this one first. I just realized there's like a little barn in the background on this one. And I'm on a different software system, so I can't zoom you guys in. So I'll stamp first, and then I'll bring it up close to the camera so you guys can see. It looks like the cow from the inlay, right? Oh, yeah. Hi, Carmen. There is my dear friend Carmen, who taught me how to stamp successfully. Carmen, I need to call you. And so I did not see these. You guys, wait till you see these little chickies. You guys are going to die. There's like a little hen, and she has 3 little chickies following her. I think there might be 4. And you guys notice how I kind of let that rest there? That's something that I'll do too. Whenever I'm stamping, I don't pick it up right away. I just kind of let it chill out for a few minutes. In my holy imagination, the surface is like, absorbing the ink from the stamp. I don't know if that's how it happens, but in my mind, that's how it happens. Wish I could make bigger. Yeah, Kim is saying, I saw you do this and I tried it and it a couple of times and it's a game changer. So much easier with the white ink for sure. Yeah, it makes a big difference. It made a big difference for me, Kim. And that's why I always teach it, because it made a huge difference for me. So I'm going to show you guys what the stamps. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like over with the chickies. So this is the stamp and the cardboard has some texture on it. That little warbly that you're seeing, that's not the stamp. That's actually the cardboard, the corrugation underneath there. But you guys can see how detailed that stamp is, all the etching that's in there. And you see the little house in the background there. And then look at the little chickies. Aren't they just so cute? I did not even notice them on the sheet. Did you guys notice them? Right. The viewing screen, you wish it was bigger. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I'm on a different program because I couldn't get my other program to come online. And so I know this isn't what you guys are used to. If you guys saw my setup, you would laugh. My overhead camera is attached to my ceiling, literally. And my camera is literally right here. Like, it is as close to my table as I can have it without like messing up my phone. So, oh, Felicia, I hate when that happens. I've had that happen during a presentation before, girl. And so this is the one. I know you guys, let's do the roses. And I don't know if you guys remember one of my favorite, what was the name of that stamp? It was a whole page of these roses. And I'm usually not a flower girl. But there's something about etched drawings that I just love so much. And I think it's because I see them in a lot of the ephemera that I collect. And it amazes me how much detail someone is able to carve into a block. Because back in the day, that's how they made these images. They would carve them. And all they had to use to be able to express the shadows and the different elements were lines. Like, just think about that. how incredible that is. Rose Toile. Thank you, Doris. Yes. Shannon. Those chickadees are cute. And you guys, let me know if there was something specific from this stamp that you wanted to make sure that I do, because I don't know if we're going to have time to do like everything from every stamp. But I did want to give you guys like a good idea, right, of what to expect from everything. And today we'll just do demos, but you guys be sure and join me on Sunday. I'm sure I'll think of something to create using the new stuff. Oh, just breathtaking. Look at the detail of that rose. It just makes me want to cry. And it's just line work, right? It's just crazy to me how they were able to express light and shadow and the curve of the petal and no color. It's just black and white. And they're able to express all those things. I think it's fabulous. I think that's why I love the engraved artwork that you see in the vintage stuff. Let's see. Did anybody, the rooster? Okay, Doris, I will do the rooster. This rooster has attitude too. I have a feeling the cow and the rooster. Is that our vote for this one? I'll do the cow and the rooster before I move on to the next stamp. I'm trying not to smack while I have this cough drop in my mouth, but I'm not sure how successful I'm being. And this is literally how I stamp, you guys. I'm going to season these really quickly because I did not. And then we'll stamp with these. And did I measure this rooster? I don't think I did I? Let me measure him because he's big. It's a good size rooster. Like, honestly, if you are working in a space that's like country or even like French country, just a simple stamp of this rooster on the bottom of like a cabinet would be so fun. Or like on the bottom of some curtains. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but seriously, I can see it. So we are going to, and there's some other elements on here with him. And I might as well just go ahead and do those too, right? Since we're going to do it. Whenever I use my pad right over my stamps, I feel like I always get too much ink on there. And so the brayer really does make a difference. And I am just stamping on like a flat piece of paper today, right? But let's say if, oh, tea towels. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I had a moment. Let's say I was making some tea towels, right? You guys know that you can get those like flour sack towels. And you can stamp them, and this ink will cure. The IOD ink will cure. You just have to use some heat to heat set them. How cute would that be? But I was going to say, if you're doing fabric, you want to make sure that you have like a little extra ink. Oh man, this rooster might need his own spot. So if you're doing a stamp over paper, you don't have to be as generous with the ink, right? Because you want it to be really defined. You want your image to be really defined. If you put too much ink, you can end up with globbiness. But when you're stamping on fabric, you actually want to use a little more ink because that fabric is going to absorb a good portion of the ink. And you guys will notice whenever I'm stamping, you see me kind of running my fingers over the stamp. What I'm really doing is just making sure that there's good contact between the stamp and the surface so that I get a nice, good impression. I'm sorry, let me move. Let's move my camera a little bit so I can make sure that I'm staying in our view. And so let's let him rest for a few minutes and we'll do the cow on the same one. And again, these aren't just like the animals. The cow is sitting in what looks like a pasture, maybe, and there are some greenery behind him, even though it's not green, but you know, it could be if you put it on watercolor paper and painted it. You know what, Donna? I do not, but that would be a good YouTube video, wouldn't it? Maybe I'll put that on my list. Let's see, you should see what I made out of the horse mold. Now I can add so much more. Did I see that, Susan? I don't know if I saw that. Happy Valentine's Day, Linda. Thank you. Let's measure this rooster. I'm trying to, like, from his tail to his feet right here. He is 9 inches, you guys. He's a good size. So from the top of his head to the foot, he is like 7.5 inches. So this is a good size stamp. He's bigger. It's funny. I'm looking at him, right? I know how big he is, but I was still surprised by how big he is. Oh my gosh. I love that. And you guys remember the ripples that you're seeing are not the stamp. That's just because I'm stamping on this corrugated cardboard. And so look at all the details of the rooster, aside from the corrugation, but you guys can see all the details in his feathers. This one would be really fun to watercolor, I think, because you could make his tail feathers all kinds of colors. And then you have the cow laying in the pasture, and the trees are here in the background. These are really classic designs. And I think one of the reasons I'm so excited about this release is because of the versatility of it. Because a lot of these things belong in like a country kitchen, right? Or like a Western space, or am I upside down? Or they belong in a traditional like home, like, you know, just traditional, or French country industrial. They're like, there's so many different aesthetics that this could lend itself to, depending on how you used it. And so I'm going to figure out, because I look at these and I can see them mixed with my vintage wallpaper, the one with the red cabbage roses and the ticking. Let's see, Susan's wonder if a clean, dry brayer rubbing on the top after you stamped it would make the ink settle better. The I don't like to use my brayer over the top because I feel like it may cause the stamp to shift a little bit. So I just like to go over with my fingers a little bit, but you can. I've seen people do it. I just try to just keep my motion straight up and down when I'm stamping so that I'm not moving my stamp in any way and I end up with a nice clean impression. But that one was let's see, which stamp was that one? Oh, Lord, are you guys keeping track for me? This was the double stamp, and it was the champagne, I think. It was that one. And so let's do, I'll show you, we'll save my favorite one for last. The other stamp was the birds and the bees. And as soon as I can locate them, what do I do with them? I just had them. This is my life, y'all. I spend my life looking for stuff, I swear. Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees. Okay. So the birds and the bees is one single stamp, but we know how you guys love birds and we know how you guys love bees. So this is the answer. So many birds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, whoop, that's not a bird, that's a bee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's actually 6 bees. I've lost one already, y'all. It's a little bitty bee. It's somewhere over here. I can't find them. But let's stamp with these. This one's actually flying. I just love that. So let's stamp this one. Exactly, Kim. And I'm going to leave that bee and that bird on there together. And let's season this one first before we stamp with it. It is always more fun to open my new stuff with you guys than it is to do by myself. Although I couldn't hold out, I did open stuff last night, y'all. And I'm just going to load up the entire thing. And the ink I'm using is actually called Stone, so it's not like super dark. And I almost wish I would have prepared some flat surfaces now instead of the cardboard, because I feel like the corrugation is kind of not interfering, but it's, you know, making my impressions not as clear as they would be on a flat surface. But you guys get the idea though, right? Birds are your favorite, Carolyn? I know. And there's so many different kinds of birds on this specific stamp. I don't know if you guys follow Lexi Grinzer from Lexi Grinzer Art, but in her guest room, she painted it black. And then she used this stamp to, along with the branches stamp, all across the wall. It is so beautiful. And I am all out of frame, aren't I? So I'm going to turn this around so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I'm trying to be careful so my stamps don't shift. When you are stamping, once you get that stamp on the surface, you do not want your stamp to shift, right? Because then you'll end up like a double stamp or a double image. So you want to make sure to stamp it straight down and then just kind of run your fingers over it to make sure all the parts have touched the surface so that they can transfer that ink. And then you lift that. Oh, I know. I'm way too excited, Joe. But look at how pretty that flying bird is. I need to turn it around, huh? Hold on. Let me find my camera. So this is the one I just did. It's flying. He's in flight, right? And these are the two bees that are on that same stamp. Of course, you don't have to use them with him, but they were there. So I kept them there. And then this one is kind of sitting on a branch already. Could you cut out the stamped images for a mixed media project? Absolutely. Dorothy, you girl, you know that. Yes. So you could absolutely stamp these on like cardstock or another piece of paper. I've actually stamped tissue paper and then heat set it and then decoupaged with it as well. For those of you who took my curiosity course, you guys got to see me do that with the wing, right? For the paper doll that we made. And so I'm just showing you guys this is just like a super basic demo. There is so much that you guys could do with these stamps. Unrealistic expectations link. Was there anyone on this birds and bees stamp that you guys absolutely wanted me to do, or are you guys good? So Pamela's asking, if you are stamping on a painted wall, do you have to prep the wall? I would say yes. So, I'm sorry, I'm formulating a really long answer and I'm trying to figure out how to shorten it. So if you're going to stamp the wall, if you're going to do anything on a wall, you want to prep it right just so you know what to expect from the surface. And so a freshly painted wall, if you wanted to stamp it, absolutely. If you're going to do like a high gloss wall, just be mindful that you might have a little bit of slippage from your stamps. So you want to be really careful when you're stamping that you don't like let your stamp slip so you get a nice clean finish. It would be easier to stamp on like a semi-gloss or a flat finish. And then make sure that you're going to stamp with something that's going to be color fast. I hope that answers your question, Pamela. Looks like a barn swallow. Is that this one with the nest? Let's do one more. This one has a nest on it. I'm curious to see how that's gonna like come out. And then we'll do a couple from the Antiquities, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. Are you guys bored yet? Are you guys bored? You can tell me. Um, yeah, just flying. He's just chilling. But I mean, you have flying birds, you have birds that are already sitting on branches. This one is super cute because he's in a nest. And even this big old fat bee right here, because you can even make something like be mine, be my Valentine. And how cute would these birds be with the branches and vine stamp, right? This is what Lexi used on her wall. So she used this stamp in combination with the birds and bee stamp to make that black wall in her guest room. Thank you, Jeannie. I know we've been on for a long time, but I like the demo. I know how it is when you're shopping online, and you have kind of an expectation for what it is, but you're not quite sure. And I am terrible with gauging the size of things online. Even if I read the description and it tells me how many inches, I need to like see it next to something else to have like a really good idea of what size it is. It is crazy. I've ordered stuff before and was mad. And I go back to look at the description. Yeah, it told me that's exactly what size it was going to be. Let's go back to this one because we have a little bit more space. My table's getting clustered. I might have to clean up a little bit. And I'm just going to put him right there because it doesn't matter, right? Because we're just demoing. That cow is just, you guys, he even has an expression on his face. It's a bored expression, but it's an expression. I know, right? A fairy stamp. You guys are not the friends to take like when it's time to quit, are you guys? And it comes, oh, it's not is it a nest? I don't know. I'm not sure if it's a nest or if it's just like a big furry flower. I don't know. I love the texture of it though. And I mean, this corrugation is actually getting on my nerves now. So I'm gonna find me some flat surfaces too and stamp out some stuff. And so that's the bird and the bees, you guys. And there are bees on here, but I think you guys are good with the bees, right? And all the stamps are the same kind of look, right? That etched look. It's just a matter of what the subjects are. But I do want to do the Antiquities stamp because I have a feeling I'm going to be using this one a lot, a lot, a lot. And I like the deer head fella. I know, Kim. You should see, I already have one in my art journal. Should I show you really quickly? Should I get off topic or should I stay focused? I'm going to show you guys one picture from last night and that's it. And then we're going to get back on topic. So you guys are looking like, I know it's an atlas. I haven't done my cover yet, but I bought this at the thrift store and I'm using it for a journal because the pages are big. I could not bring myself to paint over these. So they're still there. But um, I did this guy on the nest last night and I was just messing around last night. I got to try to get you guys. There you go. And so this is the stamp. This is one of the birds from the birds and bees. And he just fits so perfectly on top of that nest, right? And I have this nest under a cloche. And then this is just the top of the urn stencil that I use for the plate for my cloche. And so I was having a little bit of fun last night. Nothing is finished. I was just playing around a little bit. This one, I just did the cloche. And this is the flowers from the I want to say the melange, if I'm saying that right. And this is the paper doll. And I did do some roses. I actually made como se dice, a mask for her head and then I stamped. But these pages are warbly. They're warbly and they have a lot of texture. So it's not exactly what I want. But this is, you guys, this is what I do inside of here. Like this is my play place and I just do crap and it doesn't have to work. And if it doesn't work, I'm not like heartbroken. It's just a place to kind of express ideas. And then I kind of like finalize ideas before I do like a full blown project. And so this is why I love having these pages to kind of play on because they allow me the opportunity to just play without any expectation. And so this is the frame stencil with one of the birds, and I put it on top of the floral burlap. The burlap is a little darker. I should have pushed it back, but like now I know that, right? Before going into a full-blown project, now I know like how these different elements are going to interact with each other. So that's just, you know, what I was working on last night, kind of playing around. I've been giving myself permission to play more and more lately, and I'm liking it. It's kind of fun. Um, yes, Tammy, those are moles, and you're here on time because we haven't started playing with them yet. So you'll get to see them. I am super excited about these, you guys, because there are so many times I'm working on a project and I just want to put like a postage seal or something in the corner. And so now I'm going to be able to. And I know this is probably the most boring one to start out with, and this is 5 francs, 1876. And so this is like an antique coin. Oh, but I'm going to show you guys. Just look at the details of that, right? So clean. I didn't even condition it, and it still came out really good. But my favorite, let me condition this really quick though before I move on. There's a beehive on here because I know I have my bee lovers in here. The little bicycle is so cute. This horse is really, really nice. There's even a rooster on here. There are some stamps that I say are like really good for people who haven't tried stamps yet. So like you guys know, the Queen Bee stamp is one of those that I think is really good if you haven't tried stamp yet, because it has like a little bit of everything on there. And I'm feeling like this is a lot like that because there's some typography on here. There's some animals on here. We don't have a lot of flora. There's one rose on here though, and a little bitty tiny rose. So this would be a nice kind of a sampler plate, if you will. I want to do this pig. I don't know why. Is there anything on here that any of you absolutely want to see? Is there a cat on one of them? Yes. You know what, Shannon? We'll do the cat right now. It's a cat in a Victorian dress, girl. So we are going to. I'm trying to be really careful and not cut my actual stamp because these are really tight. And anybody just popping on, I'm getting over a cold, so bear with me and my strange noises and my weird voice from the snail lady from Monsters. Okay, so I want to do the deer, so I cut him out too. The pig. Okay, so the horse, the pig. Okay, so I will make sure we'll cut those out. I think this pig, I'm like looking at the stamp, it is like super detailed. I like need a big one of this pig because you imagine how many signs you could make if you had a big stamp of this pig. I'm sorry, you guys. That was pretty gross. And we'll cut out the pig. Did I see anybody else put anything else? Ooh, that's a good idea. Carmen is saying these will be cute for book plates. Yes. One of the postage stamps. Okay, I will do one of the. Let me see. Let me look at them closely because I thought that big one was actually a stamp, but it's a coin. So let me look closely. Here, this rooster one. He's at 20 cents. Okay. So let's do these. And then we'll move on to, I don't know, should we do the molds next or should we do the Transfers. I'm going to save the inlay for Sunday, I think, because the inlay takes a little bit more time. And I don't like to rush them because I don't want to not have a good result. So let's see what happens with our little piggy. This little piggy went to market. And this looks like a brand. I don't know if it was like probably bacon, maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's bacon. um, oh, okay. You guys are asking Carolyn. So, Carolyn, are you good on that question? I sand it first because it gives it some tooth, so it's not as slick, and it holds the ink better, and it also sits on your surface a little better because you don't want to have any slippage when you put your stamps down on your surfaces. So our horse was next. And you guys notice how I could just kind of let that pig kind of chill out over there for a little bit. I don't like to rush my stamps. I like to let them chill. Not too long, because if you leave them too long, then they dry and they'll get stuck to your surface, which that's no bueno. So, but just a few minutes. But these are all small, so let's get them all down and then we'll look at them all at once up close. Is that okay? How do you clean my beater? Oh no, Lisa. I hope you have water. How do I clean my braider? Oh, same thing. I just if I'm in here for a long time, batching videos or something, I'll just wipe them with an alcohol wipe, um, or just with a wipe, like a baby wipe. But at the sink, I'll just take them to the sink and I'll just wash them with soap and water. You guys know the green scrubbies. If your brayer starts looking like mine, which you know, you can use just a green scrubby. It'll help get that off too. Yes, Carolyn, using like a yeah, anywhere between like a 300 to 220. You don't want to get too high. If you get up to like 180, you can kind of score your stamps, and you don't want to do that. So you want to use a high grit sandpaper. This deer is so stinking cute. Carmen, remember when you made those plates and you used embossing ink? Or were they plates or were they coffee mugs? I just want this guy on a coffee mug. I'm gonna make it happen because he needs to be on my coffee mug. And Doris, I believe you wanted one of the stamps. So this is a rooster stamp, 20 cents. So we'll put him over there. This pig has so much detail. I could look at it and I could tell. It's crazy. Pamela's asking if you ever do stamps on fabric. Yes, Pamela, you can absolutely do stamps on fabric. You just want to load a little bit more ink on your stamp, and you want to make sure that you're going to use an ink that can be laundered, right? So like IOD's ink is good. You can heat set it, and you're good to go. And I meant to turn on my other camera, and I did not. I am just so flustered today, y'all. I'm pitiful. Everything is content. Everything is content. Ooh. Now I scattered them all over. Okay. So here's our little piggy that went to market. Look at how much detail. I just love that. All that shading, even the shadow underneath him. And here is one of the stamps. It has the rooster on it. And the horse. Look at how handsome he is. And who asked for the cat? Was it you, Shannon? She's Prissy. I think her name is Miss Prissy. It should be if it's not, right? And then my handsome buck. Look at his face, you guys. There's so much detail. What's your favorite way to heat stamp on fabric? You know what, Donna? I just put something protective down over the top of it. Sorry. And then just use an iron, like a dry iron to heat set. What does it say over the horse? Oh Lord, y'all gonna try to make me spell. It's Beurres, Beurres, Romages, I guess. It's French. And his face, oh my gosh, I wish I could show you guys. So there's so much detail on these stamps. It's kind of crazy. Like you can see the expression of his face. You guys see that? Isn't that crazy? Oh, it is Miss Priss. Oh, I swear before God, I did not read that. I just looked at her and said she should be called Miss Priss. And it is Miss Priss Baking Powder. That is her name for real. Now that's funny. Okay. So those are some of the Antiquities stamps. And like I said, these are super fun. If you guys have seen IOD's release, there was one with some wrapping paper where someone took some of these and did them all over. This guy, I'm going to like stamp him and frame him in one of the IOD frames. I think that's going to be fun. And even above and beyond that, we still have all these that we didn't try yet, right? But I do want us to get through all of our products. So we're going to move along. Look at the dog in the top hat. That is just, I like this one a lot. Now, did we vote on what we're going to do next? Did we say stamps or transfer? I didn't even read it, Shannon. I swear, I just see she looked like her name should be Miss Prissy. I kind of want to do the transfers. This is what we'll do. We'll start with the molds. I wish I had one of my little dollar store. At Dollar Tree, they have these little mats, and they're supposed to be like little chopping mats, but they're really good to protect your spaces when you're working, you know, and then you can just like take the whole mat and set it aside and then come back. I'm going to go grab some mats. And yes, I have pajama pants on. Do not judge me. Oh, I can't. I'm tethered. Oh, okay. I'm going to reach under my clothes too. Look, y'all. Transfers, please. It's too late now. Okay. You guys know I'm bound to forget something, right? Although, for those of you who've been with me for a long time, you guys remember I used to be more of a hot mess than I am now. I'm less of a hot mess now. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be like, you know, perfectly not mess, but um, yeah, I love these, and so I like them, especially for those of you who are like, you know, doing videos and stuff too. These are nice because you can work on top of them and move them out of the way while they dry, and you can just like kind of transport the whole thing out of the way, right? And you get two of them for $1.25 now, not $1, but $1.25. So I'm gonna set my molds on top of here. Which one should we paint? Because I don't think we're gonna have time to paint all of them. So I'm gonna let you guys vote which ones we should kind of paint. And I want to paint more today, not to make them look like anything necessarily, just so you guys can see the detail that's in each of them. Because it's really hard to communicate the detail when they're all just white. So I have a vote for the fern. So we can do that one. And I'm debating, I should have primed these before we started today, and I did not. So, oh, I wish I had a green to use on this fern. I don't. We'll use Abyss on the fern, and then we'll go over with some gold highlights so you guys can see the details. I think we'll just do that for And again, the exercise for today, mushrooms, mushrooms, hummingbird, mushrooms. Okay. So we have hummingbird, mushrooms, and the fern. So we'll do those. Oh, and then I may do some other ones too, just because. Because I can't do all of them, but I want you guys to see the beautiful texture. Like the details. The frog has warts. I know that sounds gross, but I mean, you know. So let's get some paint on these guys. Someone was asking me about priming my resin ones. For some reason, this creamier resin that's not bright white, it takes on the paint better than like the white casting resin from Illuminite. And I don't know why. It just does. So I find that I get coverage easier with this resin than I do with the other. And this has a lot of details. So you guys notice I'm not just brushing over the top. I'm kind of stippling color in there. And it's because there's so many details that I'm literally having to push the paint in there in order to get everything covered. You can see the veins on the leaves. It's crazy. Oh no, I'm not put together. I still have my pajama pants on. What movie were we, what did we watch yesterday? We were watching a movie. Oh, we were watching The Glass Onion, and the lady is like running for Congress or something. I don't know. And they show her, she's at her house, you know, it's her family's there, it's a mess. And she's like gonna be going into like her library to have an interview with the press. And like she has a big old curler in her hair, and she has this nice top on and this jacket on, and then on the bottom she has on these knitted pajama pants. We all understood what was going on without even having to say anything. Zoom has forever changed our attire, right? Tammy's asking, am I going to be doing mixed media with my molds and the new paper? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have ideas, Tammy. I'm prayerful that I'll have time. And you guys, and you still can't see a ton of detail, but you can, with the color, you begin to see, right? Some of the detail, some more of the detail. So we're going to go over that with a metallic so I can really show that off. Um, I don't know what color to use for my mushroom. Here, we'll use this like muddy color. I could have used red, huh? That would have been pretty. I don't even know if I have any red here on my table though. And again, I'm just going to put some color on these just so we can highlight the colors and kind of show off all the details. Because I want you guys to see that they're not just flat. There's like tons of texture. And so you're beginning to see, you guys can start to see the texture on that one. And then we said the frog. I wonder what happened if I mix these two colors. Let's see what happens. I'm like that mad scientist over here. Of course, I'm not trying to take over the world. I'm just trying to make stuff pretty. And there was another vote. I think I saw the mushroom. Oh, the hummingbird. Yes, we'll do the hummingbird. And I know that there's a lot of opportunities to paint the hummingbird a lot of different colors. And we'll visit that later. But for today, I'm going to just paint them one solid color, okay? But you guys will be able to see all the beautiful details. The feathers, you can see the lines in the feathers. His body has a ton of like of the small feathers. And let's do a little Poseidon. And this little mat, you guys, I can wash this and all this will come right off too, which is another good thing about these mats. Wise Owl has a new color. It's only in the 1 hour enamel though. I'm so sad. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a green. It's almost black, but it's green. It's gorgeous. Ooh, Shannon, that would be so pretty. And you guys know that you can dust your molds with like mica powder and then pour them um, so that you get like a beautiful metallic finish on your molds as well. Oh, that Poseidon was just about perfect for that hummingbird, wasn't it? You can even see his eyeball. Okay. So that's all we said, right? Mushroom. Did we say dragonfly? I don't think anybody said dragonfly. I think I said dragonfly, but nobody else did. I do want you guys to see how detailed his wings are. So we'll do him really quickly. And I've already seen some absolutely gorgeous things being made from other retailers who've had their product for a while. Okay, I've had mine for a week. I probably could have made some stuff, but you know, although this weekend didn't count because I didn't do too much of anything. And for those of you who are in the Stencil Lab course, I am so sorry. I will get my video posted. I just did not get it done this weekend. I'm not sure you would have heard me anyways. But Lexi's video is posted, and the principal is the 3rd unit that's in your the VIP section. Okay, so I'm gonna hit these with the dryer really quickly, and then we're gonna go over them with some metallic, just so we can see all the beautiful details. Okay, this one is kind of sad, but let's give it a little bit of life. That gray was making me sad, y'all. Okay. I know these molds are so fun. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask them. And if I know the answer, I will answer. If I do not know the answer, I will tell you I don't know. I will not lie to you. And sometimes the answers or rules according to Royce, they aren't necessarily like standard practice. But oh, I'm so missing my other program. I got to figure out what was going on with it. I wish I could get closer, especially with the molds. Let me see if I can get this phone a little bit closer. I don't know. That's a little closer. I'm not sure how much better that is, but let me do a quick little. I should not care about full coverage, but I think if I'm going to get the highlights to show good, I'm going to need it to have like good coverage. And my froggy was looking a little streaky. It's crazy how much detail are in these molds, you guys. Okay. So let's pick. This is Posh Pigments I'm going to use right here, you guys. And I'm just going to mix it up right here on my my chingadere. I don't want to use a good brush for this though. Okay. And I'm just going to put my pigments down. It's a dry powder. Can you guys see what I'm doing? And I'm just going to put a little bit of clear coat over the top of this. When I say clear coat, I mean like top coat, clear coat, sealer. As long as it's water-based, you're fine. Although Posh does make like an activator that goes with the pigments. And so you just mix it. And I love this because I can make this as opaque as I want. Like I can add more pigment if I want it to be like more opaque, or I could add more of the top coat if I want it to be more transparent. And so I do not even have a general rule. I just mix it till I like it. But I usually do really small batches because you can store it for a little bit, but not for a really long time. And so I'm using my fingers and I'm just going to go over the top just so you guys can see all the details in each of these. Because they're really hard to see when everything is just one color. And this is something that you can do in your furniture too. If you're adding like really beautiful details and you want them to be highlighted, a nice dry brush is a really good way to highlight those. Or even if you're adding texture. And so now all of a sudden our little froggy, I gotta refine my camera. Let me find something white because my hands are all jacked now. So now all of a sudden you can see all those details in the frog. And honestly, I don't know if I would, you can see his eyeballs, you can see the socket around his eyeballs, you can see his belly rolls. Like there is so much detail in these molds. It's insane. And so that's the little froggy. I know we had somebody earlier who said her daughter collected frogs. And so that's the little froggy. And let's do our hummingbird next. And there is tons of detail in this little birdie. So I'm going to be really careful because I don't want to put too much paint and get it into the recesses. You can see his eyeball even. And there's some texture that I won't be able to highlight because there's actually texture in the recesses of the feathers. But look at that. All of his little bitty feathers on his body, you can see that. The wings have texture, and even inside of here, there are lines on each of those feathers. And you guys can kind of see the line work of those wings. And you can even see his little eyeball. Like just incredible detail in the molds. And I think the newer molds have a lot more detail than the older molds for IOD. They just continue to kind of push more and more. And this one kind of blows me away a little bit. Because I think we all love dragonflies because of their wings, right? And look at the level of detail in his wing. Isn't that just insanity? All those little like cells that you see in a dragonfly's wing, you can see in this mold. It's just crazy. It's bananas. And then even with the mushrooms, which, you know, I think everyone would have been happy with mushrooms, but these are just really so yummy because they have tons of texture and character. So it's not just a smooth mushroom. And I'm trying really hard not to put too much because I don't want to hide details, trying to highlight them. So you guys see all that texture that I caught with the dry brush? Like all those details, even on the stem. There's just so much. Okay, I froze there for a second. I was going to have a fit. And then our last one. And of course, I didn't do all the molds, you guys. We would have been here all night. But these are the ones that I saw votes for to kind of paint and to look up close. And even though you guys are going to see a lot of detail in this fern, just know that there's even more detail that I'm not able to highlight because each individual leaf has lines in it that I'm just not going to catch with the dry brush. But as much detail as you guys are going to see, there's even more. I kind of want to get into that area right there. I don't want to get too much. Because even in these recessed areas, there's like ton of yumminess. It's crazy. I seriously need like a whole mold of this, of just these ferns. I need these in my life, you guys. I need some more. Um, Look at that. Isn't that crazy? All the individual leaves. Yeah, Gabriel, I'm with you. And so I don't know. I just think these are so beautiful. And we're not even painting intentionally, right? Like I'm just painting just to show the details, but already they're so beautiful. And so those are the two molds. One has all the mushrooms, and then the dew pond, I think it was called, has the birds and the frogs and the little cute ladybug. And I'm this one right here is one I'm gonna play with maybe later. It may end up in one of my cloches. And so, did anybody have questions about any of the molds? Let me see. Oh yeah, Kim. I've had my boxings with a few dragonflies at the lake. Oh, Shannon, that will be so pretty. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. You guys don't have a lot of questions today. Y'all just hanging out, which is good. Has anyone made pins with the molds? You could. I would almost think you could set the like the pin backing into the resin after it's like barely when it starts setting, and making sure the resin goes through the holes. You know what I mean? And you could absolutely make pins with them. I've seen people make knobs for dressers using resin and the molds. I gotta find somewhere safe to set that so I don't get paint on anything. Okay. And then our last thing that we're gonna do today, because I'm gonna save the inlay for like a longer tutorial because I don't want to rush it and ruin it. So but we can do some transfers today. Let's see, where did I put my book? How about we put some specimens inside of our cloche? I think that would be kind of cool. Yeah, I've seen people do knobs. They're super fun. How many mushrooms are on the mold? Hold on, Tammy, let me count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one's kind of a cluster. So I guess 9 in a cluster. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But one's a cluster. So you get a ton of mushrooms. And these are huge. I mean, this one, let's measure that one. From top to bottom, this one is 5.5 inches. This one is. And so you have the large ones, medium-sized ones, and then you even have some smaller ones. And then the different kinds of mushrooms too, because these are more of the traditional toadstools. Hey Cheryl, yeah, girl, I'm still here. I think we're getting to the end of the road, right, Carmen? Carmen and I are so much alike. When I saw this, Carmen, I literally gasped. I was so happy. And there's so much you can do with this transfer. So let me see if I can open my big old book over here. You guys should see how much stuff I have on my workspace. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. But I was thinking, oh no, I put that bird in there last night, didn't I? Dang it. Give me a second, you guys. Let me think. I have some snow owl. Let's just. Oh, here's my gesso. Okay. I'm going to paint over this flower and we'll put some specimens in there instead, okay? Because my stamps aren't working very well on my pages anyways because they have so much texture. Can you put the molds back to make them dimensional? So the molds, let me double check because I was thinking about that last night. I don't think that they're symmetrical. So you can't do that. I mean, you can theoretically, but it's going to be harder because they're not symmetrical. Nobody judge me. I know my tools are a mess. My supplies are a mess. We're just going to repurpose this cloche right here, y'all. Let me. Excuse me. Put a bee on top of the glass globe. Oh, that would be so cute. Maria says she's invisible in here. Okay, bye, Maria. I'm sorry. I didn't see your question. I apologize if I missed it. Oh, we didn't look at the door mold, did we? We'll have to do that another day too, you guys, because I feel like I've been on here a long time. How long have I been on? It's been a while, right? I'm just putting 2 coats. I'm trying to cover up those flowers. I try to keep up with the comments, you guys, but I don't always um, see them. And honestly, we don't always see all the comments. I notice sometimes I'll come off of a live and I'll see comments that happen. We're not on the clock. I'll see questions that like somebody posted during the live and somehow I didn't see them. Yes, Gabrielle, the cloche stencil is super fun, um, especially when it's paired with the urn, because you can actually, I mean, it would make a huge piece of art, right? But super fun because you can put anything inside of your cloche, right? Okay, I think that's dry enough, but you guys know how the transfers are, right? They don't like moisture at all. So if you're working on a project, you really want to make sure that it's completely dry before you try a transfer. You bought it, Betty, but you can't find it. You gotta find it. I think I'm good. I don't have like a ton. And this is the top of the como se dice, the urn stencil. I kind of made that plate right there, but we're just gonna pretend like we don't need a plate for this close. And let's make us a specimen kind of and what should we do like a specimen of eggs? Should we do butterflies? Should we do bugs? I'm gonna give you guys three options. That way we'll like actually make a decision. So should I do butterflies, bugs, or eggs inside of our cloche? Yes, Debbie, I love this heat gun too. It's really hot and it's quieter than my other one was. Carmen, it's me and you, Carmen, bugs. We could do bugs. I want to put this mushroom inside of a cloche, but I kind of want to save it for a project because I only have one that's that big. But we can play around with the other ones though. So let's see, bugs, eggs. But oh, you guys are not helpful. I literally have one vote for everything. Let's see. I have two eggs, a bug, a butterfly. Oh Lord, y'all gonna make me make a decision, huh? Because you guys are pretty equal. Maybe I should have done. Um, I know Carmen. I'll do the bugs later, Carmen, because I do like them. The eggs would be fun because it's kind of like almost Easter. I mean, kind of spring. Eggs, 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 eggs. Okay, let's do our eggs. And I'm trying to pick. The cool thing about this is I have so many options with sizes. And I want three different sizes, right? I don't want to do the same size eggs. This one is absolutely beautiful. This blue one right here. I should save it for a project, but I'm going to use it. You guys know that I love the entomology transfer and I always have it in stock. I love the ferns transfer and I always have it in stock. And I think that this is going to be another one of those that I always have in stock because I like it a lot. Um, let's do this one. And then this one is a nice step down size and it's really interesting. And I'm thinking I should do like 5 eggs in here. What do you guys think? Bugs eating the eggs. I know, Kathy, I'm going to do one with mushrooms, but I think I'm going to wait and use that one for like a project because I'm definitely going to do that. Because this is going to be just inside, it lives inside of my art journal. You know, I guess if I ever made something that I fell in love with inside of my art journal, I could take a page out and frame it if I wanted. But as a general rule, these just kind of live in here in my journal. Um, it's just a way to express ideas, right? Because sometimes when I have an idea in my mind, I need to see the way the pieces fit together before I can make like final decisions about what I want to do. And so having this really helps me to do that. And you guys know we have to do like, we can't do an even number. We have to do odd number. So one more, and I think I need it to be smaller. Let's go back to kind of that teal color in a small one. But look, I'm going to use 5 eggs today, and we're still going to have like a bunch left over for another project. And I had somebody who made a comment on my announcement for my live that they hadn't used a transfer before. So I'm going to start at the beginning. And for those of you who use transfers, I know you guys know this stuff already, but we don't know where anyone is on their creative journey. And so I just want to honor everyone wherever they are, right? Um, I'm looking for a stick because you guys know that I didn't pay attention when I opened that. Oh, you know what I did? I used my stick to stir my resin. So I know I have extra ones though. It's just a matter of finding one. Okay. So if you have not used transfers before, each of your transfers comes with a stick like this that you can use to like um, to burnish your transfers to the surface, but mine is covered in resin. So I'm just gonna use a little blank card that I have here. Thank you. Yeah, the nest stencil, Felicia. I'm like so on that for real. Felicia bought it twice. Oh, that would be Kim. Let's see. Speaking of bugs, how are you and Mr. feeling? He's feeling fine, Cheryl. He got sick first. He made me sick. No, he still has, you guys know how you have that lingering that happens, but we're fine. It was nothing serious. I just knew my voice was going to sound worse than it sounds today, if you guys can imagine that. And so I'm going to want to set them, I want to set them up as if they're on like little sticks. And they're just like specimens in here. But I want my sticks to be different heights. What do you guys think? Oh, yeah, that's good. So I'm going to start with the largest one first. And so if you've never used stencils before, they come with a backing paper on it because there's an adhesive on the back of this. So you don't want to touch the adhesive to anything until you're ready to apply it. If I touch this with my hands and then try to put it down, it won't adhere as well. So you keep your backing on there until you're actually ready to put it on your surface. And you're literally just going to rub it on. And the cool thing about the transfers is the only thing that transfers to your project is the actual artwork. So there won't be like any background or there won't be any haze or anything. It's only the artwork that you're wanting to put on your piece is all that's going to transfer onto it. And so if I were using my stick, this would be better. And as a side note, I probably should have sealed this first and my transfer would stick more readily. My transfer is still going to stick, you guys, but it's just when you seal first, they do stick a lot easier. We all don't have sexy nails. Are my, I don't know. You must be talking to somebody else, girl, because my nails are a mess. My grandmother used to tell me when I was little that your nails and your teeth were jewels, not tools. I didn't listen. I did not listen. I have a whole tooth missing on this side right here because I insisted on opening my soda pop bottles with my teeth. Why don't we listen to our elders, y'all? They know what they're talking about, right? And that's it. Super easy peasy lemon squeezy. And so you guys will notice how, I mean, I just kept lifting it up to see if it was adhered. In any place that wasn't, I just laid it right back down. As long as you don't pick it all the way up, you just want to peekaboo it, right? To see if it's laid down. Because if it's not all the way, you have the option of laying your paper back down and just burnishing it more. These are so pretty. I'm gonna have to finish this and make it like a project for my own sanity. And I do want to layer it just a little bit, right? Like some of them are maybe in the back and some are towards the front a little bit. And I'm leaving my numbers on purpose. Each of them have like a number because there's actually at the bottom of the page, there's like a, what do you call it? Not a glossary. Hey, Miss Angela, happy Valentine's Day. Good morning, Lisa from Australia. Miss Angela, you're in the middle of a huge project. Not that I'm surprised. I feel like you're always in the middle of a huge project, Miss Angela. Excuse me. What do you guys think? Do these belong in my cloche? Hey, Miss Tina. Am I infringing on somebody's lifetime, Tina? Tell me. Legend. Thank you, Felicia. Yes, there's a legend at the bottom that tells you what kind of eggs these are. And actually, there's a legend on the bottom of each of the pages. Oh, I think that, oh, I might have to make this a project and tear this page out because now I want to put a legend on the bottom of this page. But transfers are easy peasy lemon squeezy. And this particular transfer, you guys, like there's just so much. And then what I like to do is after I get my transfer down to go over, I'm trying to find a bigger piece to just go over it with the paper. And I'm really just wanting to make sure there's good contact between the transfer and the surface so that it's adhered really well. Yes, Nancy, they are definitely better under the cloche than crawling around my house. I love cloches. I have them all over my house. Some of them I made with like upcycled things, and some of them are like cloches that people buy for me because they know I love them. But it's a way for you to be able to display like beautiful collections, right? And I wish I had a plate or something. I'm probably going to come in and do that later, but I'm just going to draw. I watched Ellen do this, and I would have, I don't know, I probably would have tried something fancy like a paintbrush. But Lynn from Ellen J. Good, she just did it with the marker. I'm like, huh, that totally works, right? And then I'll probably put a plate or something under there later. And I think I'm going to, I wonder if I should do it real quick. I need to stop. So you guys get me started and I don't know when to stop because I want to go in and just kind of paint this like a blue with some of my watercolors so that the cloche looks like it's different than the rest. And so super easy. I'll finish this later. I'll probably add like a tag or something under there. What do you guys think? Oh, it's so big. But yeah. So I'm gonna put a man, I hate that I did it in my book now because now I want to make a whole project. It's okay. I'll make another one. But like how fun is this? I might actually make me an egg cloche in my house for Easter now. Look, I have ideas. I'll get me some plastic eggs from the Dollar Tree and I'll make them look fancy and put them inside my cloche. But that's all I had to share today, you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope I answered any questions that you guys had. I know that I did not have the monkey transfer. I'm sorry. I did not leave it on purpose, but you guys have seen some beautiful pieces of furniture made with that one, though, right? Um, you're so welcome, Betty. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the comments and I'll take a look in a little bit and see if I see them. Until then, I will see you guys on Sunday. I am going to try to get an email out to my insiders. I know you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm fired. I didn't send an email out for the entire month of January. But I'm going to get an email out to you guys this week. And then I believe next week we'll have our resource for this month. So if you are not a Roycycled insider, you can put hashtag insider in the comments here on the live, and you'll get a link from Facebook and where you can join to become a Roycycled insider. I do try to send like a resource every month. I didn't get anything out in January. I think I was just tired, yo. And you guys get the first news first. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you so much. I know, Gabrielle, I'm going to go in the house. I might take a nap right now. I'm going to text my husband and tell him to bring me tacos and go take a nap. But you guys have a blessed week, and I will see you guys on Sunday. I'm live on my Facebook page on YouTube on Sunday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. You guys have a blessed night. We'll see you next time.